As you set your goals, a light goes on in your future. Hey, I see something there. With a game plan for life, you become more confident and focused on what it is that you really want. Those who have a goals program and a plan of action to get there earn an average of $7,401 a month. Those without a goals program earn an average of $3,397 a month. Now that's quite a difference. But that's just part of the story. The next part is even more exciting. These people are happier, they're healthier, and they get along better with the folks at home. In the last 2 minutes of the game, and in the last 2 minutes of the half, they score over 20% of all of the points that are scored throughout the entire game. That's over 3 times as fast as they score in any other 4 minutes of the game. Now, why is that? Hey, they practice that 2-minute offense, don't they? They plan to score. They prepare to score. And because they plan and prepare, they have a legitimate reason to expect to score. The same is true with us, whatever our objectives are. We got to plan, we got to prepare, and we got to expect. How do you reach your goals? Well, you got to know how to train fleas. Now, just as a matter of curiosity, is there anybody here who does not know how to train fleas? Can I see your hands, please? Man, you got here just in time. I'm telling you. You train fleas by putting them in a jar. You put the top on the jar and you watch them and they'll start jumping. They'll jump up and up and up and up and up and up. And you think they're never going to stop. But finally, you'll notice that though they continue to jump, they are no longer hitting the top. Then you can literally take the top off and they'll keep jumping and jumping and jumping, but they cannot jump out. And the reason they cannot jump out is they have been conditioned just so high, to jump just so high. And once they've been conditioned to jump so high, then that's all there is. There is no more. People are exactly the same way. They start out in life to write the book, to climb the mountain, to break the record, to do something extraordinarily significant in their life. But along the way, they bump their heads, they stub their toes, and they become what we call a sniop. Now that's spelled S-N-I-O-P. That's a person who is susceptible to the negative influence of other people. What's a flea trainer? A flea trainer is one who jumps out of the jar. With commitment, what you do is when you hit the obstacle, not if, when you hit the problems, when you hit the obstacle, if you've got the commitment, your immediate thought is, how can I solve the problem? This is true whether it's getting an education, maintaining the marriage, getting a nice promotion, whatever it is. If you've made the commitment and there are problems arise, then you start figuring, how do I reach, or how do I solve the problem and reach my goal? Now, if you haven't made the commitment, your first thought is, how do I get out of this deal? But you gave me permission to fail. See, it's only the failures in life who succeed. Do you sink every shot if you're playing basketball? Do you sink every putt? Do you score a touchdown on every run? Do you make every sale on every call? But isn't it true that the failures are the one, those who fail the most succeed the most? Roger Staubach, one of the great quarterbacks in history. John Elway, one of the great quarterbacks in history. And yet they threw more incomplete passes than 99% of the players who ever played a game of football. That's what I'm talking about. See, unfortunately, a lot of people stand in front of the stove of life and they say, now, stove, you give me some heat, then I'll put some wood in you. That ain't the way it works. You got to put something in before you can get anything out. So many times, you know, the employee goes to the employer and says, give me a raise, then I'll start coming to work on time. Reward me now, and I'll produce later. It doesn't work that way. Can't you just see a youngster in school saying, teacher, if I take a failing grade home, my parents are going to skin me alive. Pass me on this quarter, and next time I'll study more than anybody else. Reward me now, I'll produce later. It doesn't work that way. Can't you just see an old farmer standing out in the fields in October and saying, Lord, I know I didn't plant a thing this year, but if you give me a big crop this year, I'll plant more than anybody next year. It ain't that way, folks. You got to put something in before you can expect to get anything out. I love the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. They plant the seed, they water it, and they fertilize it. And first year, nothing happens. The second year, they water it and they fertilize it, and nothing happens. The third year, they water it and they fertilize it, and nothing happens. The fourth year, they water it and they fertilize it, and nothing happens. The fifth year, they water it and they fertilize it, and sometimes during the course of the fifth year, in a period of 6 weeks, the Chinese bamboo tree grows roughly 90 feet. But did it grow 90 feet in 6 weeks, or was it 5 years? It was 5 years, because had there been any year when they did not water it and fertilize it, there would have been no Chinese bamboo tree. All of that to say, folks, that a lot of times you do not want to be discouraged. It's always too soon to quit